The producer.
What's up, everyone? Alright, so today working on the car. I picked up the half cage today by a mobile weld specialist for the Challenger. It just got powder coated and I just grabbed it today. It's a prismatic color. I don't know how well that's showing up there, but it turned out really nice. It's kind of like a candy lime green. It's green yellow depending on the lighting, but you can see it compared to the car there. I didn't get it to match. I got it to kind of, be different on its own, but yeah, it turned out really good. So tearing the car apart to get it put in. So that's what we're working with right now. I'm taking out the seat belts in the back, since I'm not going to need those for a while, or if at all. And I'm just going to put them away in a box and store them someplace for later. I did get the tap performance drop-in fuel pump. This is the 285 pump for when I get the flex fuel kit put in. So I also got the flex fuel Pro Flex Commander Flex E85 kit. So I've seen a lot of good stuff on this. It allows you to do E85 and 91, or a mix of. It's not full E85. I decided to go this route just because it's easier to find 91 pumps where I live. There's only one E85 gas station, so I decided to go this route. They told me I might pick up 60 to 70 horsepower depending on how good the car's running. So I'm gonna get a dyno tuned here soon, before the kit and then after the kit. So it comes with like a GM sensor that ties into the fuel system with the lines here, and then the brain, which will go mounted under the hood, and then the harness, which intercepts the injectors. So it basically controls the fuel injectors. So I'm waiting on FIC 1000cc injectors before I get that in the car, because they told me I'm going to need more fuel. So I'm hoping the single 285 is going to work. I do have the Msd Booster Pump in here right now. So I got the booster pump in here. They came with the Whipple kit. I'm gonna see if it's not too much strain on the pump to have that just in for now. I do want to upgrade to the dual, either 285s or the 274 and 285 pump, but there's no 274s right now because of the coronavirus thing. Everybody's out of stock on them, so I'm hoping this will be enough. I got a AEM fuel pressure gauge coming in today, so I'm gonna tie that on the fuel rail and kind of just watch the PSIs. I'm gonna be taking the boost one out for now and putting in the fuel pressure gauge and just keeping an eye on that. So a few things going on today. So since I got the interior out and I took out the seat belts in the back, just because it's something less to look at and worry about. So I'm gonna be putting the panels back in the car here shortly, and then this kit also comes with the rear seat delete. So I got a top and bottom piece here. Those are gonna go in the car, and then I'm gonna throw the seats back in, obviously last. But quite a bit of work ahead of me here. So just kind of updating you on what's going on with the car. I know it's been a minute just because I've been waiting for this thing to get powder coated. It literally took them almost 4 weeks to powder coat it. Some issue with their gun and spray boost. I don't know, some crap. But anyway, the cage by a mobile weld specialist is pretty badass. It's real rigid and kind of heavy. I highly recommend them for the Challengers. Hit him up, tell him I sent you, and he'll hook you up with a discount on it. Tell him you're a friend of mine. And then also for the Cipher Harnesses right here, those are, I believe, like a neon shock yellow or something, and that's like prismatic shocker yellow, so they're kind of different. I'm gonna see how those look in the car. If they look too ridiculous, I'm gonna change those up to black BRAUMs. But these harness collars will kind of sit on the bar, and then I can wrap the harnesses themselves around these. So these are by Scott, or by Scott. Focus there. Anyway, you get the idea. So just kind of what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and get the tools ready to try to put that bad boy in there. I'm gonna try to manhandle it by myself. Hopefully it goes well. But once I get that in, I'll pick this video up. And then the fuel pump, I believe I might do that another day, because I want to get the fuel pressure gauge in there first so I can see where the fuel pressure is at before and after I put that in. So I think there's enough space in here for me to be able to maneuver. So I'm hoping that's gonna be fine, because I can get my hands in here and work if I need to. It's gonna kind of suck, but I did actually already put the Cat Performance harness in there. So this is the harness. He labeled it here, pump 1, and a relay and a couple wires here. So I did already run that to the back of the trunk, because that's gonna tie in for power back there. That way I don't have to worry about that later. So at least save me a little bit of time. So let me go ahead and try to get this put in, and I'll pick this up after. Alright, just a real quick tip. So I got the paneling in on the sides. Just in case you do get this cage, because if you look, we got 4 feet, right? 2 bolts up front on each leg, and then there's 2 in the back on each leg. So what is going to happen, this weird seat delete piece, I just found out, but maybe you already know, but there are these latches right here for the old rear seats. Take those out. I was starting to place this rear seat delete in here, and I realized, hey, those are in the way. So they look like this. These guys. So there's one on each side, 10mm bolts. Just when you're taking the seat belts out and you already have all that crap out, go ahead and take these out too, because these are going to get in the way. So that rear seat delete will sit up here. You can bolt it down if you want. I'm kind of just going to leave mine chill, not bolt it down. It fits in there pretty snug. And once the cage is in there supporting it on the 2 legs, that won't even matter. So yeah, just a tip on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to manhandle this thing in here, and hopefully not scratch the paint. To be continued. All right, you were looking at the next day. I had to I ran into some difficulties with it, so I had to go get some parts, and you know, dinner was coming up, so I went ahead and just stopped for the day. So I just got done getting it in, getting the floor liners and stuff all put back together. I just got to put the seats in. This is how it turned out. So get some light in here. So that's how it sits. Pretty good. Nice spacing over here. Both sides, it's nice and solid, ain't going nowhere. I did cut this down the middle so that I can get access to the fuel pump later, because I did not want to take all this out and just to get to the fuel pump later, because I do got the fuel pump sitting up here still, and I didn't do that yet. I'm gonna wait until the injectors come in. Do injectors and a fuel pump at the same time. So that's how it looks. Looks good. Definitely hit up Ed at Mobile Weld Works if you want a cage. Tell him I sent you. I'll hook you up with a deal. And shout out to Joe Mr. Joe for buying the harness bar. Appreciate you, buddy. Hope you like it, even though I know you're probably thinking about a cage now. That's how it goes though, right? So, and then I was able to use the actual, I think they're called eyelets that came down here for the attachment for the harnesses, because I still kept the stock seat belts because I like having those options, at least for the front, because before I used to have these guys for the harness bar, and the harness clip would attach here, and I just put this behind the bolt. So it's cool not having to use those anymore. But anyway, just doing some final cleanup right now, and putting the seats back in, and wipe down the mats, and I think we'll be done. Seats are right here, and yeah, I'm gonna do the pump another day, and that's about it. I think the cage probably added maybe 100 pounds. That sucker's heavy. I don't recommend lifting it by yourself if you don't have to. I mean, I had to. I manhandled that thing, but you know, I lift. So if you don't lift, do not try to maneuver that yourself in your car, because it took some finessing to get it in the door without scratching the paint, and then you know, maneuvering it to the right position. So it took a few trials and patience, but definitely I would say that's a two-man job, because that sucker is heavy. So I probably lost maybe 60-ish pounds of weight by taking out the stock seats, and maybe like 5 or so pounds on the stock seat belts in the back. So I probably total gained, you know, probably about 40 pounds or so by adding the cage and removing the harness bar and removing the stock seats and putting the BRAUMs in. So I do want to change the battery out later, because there is a cool aftermarket one that weighs like, I think like 8 pounds or something like that, something crazy. So I do want to lighten it up a little more still, but do that later, because that battery I think is like a few $100s. Anyway, then I forgot to install these Scott harness, like harness holders. So let me show you. I got the passenger side done. So instead of using zip ties, the harnesses actually sit inside of those. Keeps it nice and clean looking. So I'm about to get the driver's side going. I already got the clamps on each one there, but basically those clamp on, and then you'll use one of these to roll it up, and then it just sits in there, keeps it nice and clean like that side there. So, but other than that, we'll be done. So let me do that, and I'll give you a final shot once it's done. So we all done. 10 done. Looks good. Everything is as it was before, except we got a cage now. I gotta get some new little plastic covers. I cut those when I was doing the harness bar. But other than that, looks good. So these are Shocker Yellow by Cipher. You can see it; those shift depending on the light too. They go from like green to yellow. So I might change these out to black, but we'll see. Just happy to be done with this pain in the ass. But yeah, we done. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll be back once ready to install the single drop-in pump and the ProFlex Commander onto the Whipple. And as well as the new injectors, so that's going to be some work too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the firewall cover out, I'm going to take the half covers off, I'm going to take the strut bar off, so that's why I didn't want to get too involved with that right now. That in there was already quite a bit of work for today, so anyway, we done. Peace.